Welcome back to Ribbon Candy Hooking. I'm Deanna, and I'm here with my good friend Shannon Carter, who you probably recognize from being online and all our live shows and all of that, and also as the artist behind 2 of the rugs from the Design Like series. So I was lucky enough to have you in town today and talked her into doing a video with me so we could look at these 2 rugs together. These are original designs that go with the Design Like book, and you made both of them. So let's look at the first one first. This is called, I think this one was called Provincetown Apple Orchard or something like that.
I think so.
Something like that.
Yeah, Provincetown Orchard.
Provincetown Orchard. And this one is based on the artist Peter Hunt, who you might know. This was like a famous mid-century Cape Cod artist, right? He was a man who took decorating antique furniture, one of the first kind of furniture flippers, taking antique furniture, repainting it in the kind of country style that was in vogue at that time. And he opened up a shop. He had a couple of shops, but he had a shop right on the main street in Provincetown. His great patron was Helena Rubinstein, the makeup maven, right? But he was a real interesting character and a native of Provincetown. And he developed this style of painting that was based on sort of Scandinavian folk art painting, very simple strokes. You see it here in the design of the borders, the strawberries with the simple squiggles. He put out 2 books on, he illustrated a cookbook, and he had 2 how-to books on how to restore and repaint furniture to be, you know, very pleasing for like the modern home, right? So this is like 40s, 30s, 40s. And this is very much his style. So I'll talk about the design, and then you can talk about the making. In this design, he was very symmetrical, as folk art often is. Anything with kind of a Scandinavian root that's simple and folky also resembles Pennsylvania fracture work, right? Like same school of art. So it's very, very symmetrical, but I balanced with the tree. Peter Hunt often did apples. So this can be any style of fruit tree. These are peaches, I think. Are these peaches? And then the strawberries in the border. These are common motifs for Hunt. This is stuff he did again and again and again. And his characters always looked exactly the same. This man with kind of the pantaloons. It's a bit of a fruity costume, I have to say. All things considered.
It is.
You know, it's very of its time, right? It's very theatrical. It's very of its time. It's very folky. This is the male character. This is the female character. And they really don't differ. We always get the female character with this kind of sweep of a bustle and then like a little petticoat under it, puffed sleeves. We usually see, well, I think we always see his characters in silhouette from this side. I don't think he's ever, I can't think of a single example of showing us a character in the front. But for the man too, he often has like the tailcoat, the pantaloons with the fruit on it, and then the decorated hose. And the man's stockings and boots are often shown with decoration. And he usually wears this hat that we now associate with like the Amish or the Penn Dutch country. But really unusual characters. Bow tie for him, a little bit of a ribbon for her. Was this a difficult piece to hook?
For me, it was.
Yeah?
It was. First of all, not knowing who Peter Hunt was and not being familiar with artists. So I had to do a little bit of research. And then the style, which I'm not really familiar with, the style and this type of detailed style.
It's a lot of decoration.
Yeah.
I mean, you did an incredible job because you had like carte blanche with the colors.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is a fantastic color palette.
So yeah, and plus with me, I like to hook wide.
Yep.
So
and how
I had
wide?
to
Is
do
this
a
like
lot
a 9?
8.
Is it an 8?
I'm always doing 8s. Yeah.
Yeah, that is quite wide.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, I love the colors, and I love the yellow in the border. And maybe this is from the research you did looking at his work. But yellow is one of the big colors.
Yeah, I did. I tried to look up as much as I could about him and try to get the same colors.
Yeah, you did a really good job because it is a very fixed color palette, right? It is the color palette of the 40s. So it's real specific. But, I mean, you've pulled out all of the nice, cool, cottagey 40s era colors. I love the dark silhouette of the tree. I love the dark stems throughout and the way you bordered it. I mean, it's just, it's an amazing piece. You did part of it with the number 8 cut, and you did part of it with yarn.
Yeah.
I think that is a really successful fusion of both. And this is a little bird coming in, right? Like a little kind of a lovebird with 2 hearts on the wings.
Yeah.
It's so Peter Hunt that it's crazy. I think it's just a phenomenal piece. I really, really, really love it. I'm just noticing the chain border at the bottom, too. All the nice details, because he often did, because he was painting furniture, he often kind of partitioned off parts, right? So if you're looking at like a set of drawers, right? There's like a different motif in the middle, and then maybe there's borders on the sides with a piece of fruit. He broke everything up into pieces, and so this design works like that too, but with the central motif of having the two ladders on both sides of the tray. I think it's an adorable design, if I do say so myself.
I must say, you designed it.
Well, you did. I mean, without you coloring it like this,
I could never have done this at all.
it was just a black and white drawing, right?
Yes,
So you brought it to
yes,
life with
yes.
like these crazy colors. I absolutely love it.
And you nailed it with me identifying like what I was capable of doing. So not too many, a whole bunch of details, you know.
Well, it's not so much what you're capable of doing. It's, you know, I wanted to give you two. You have like a fun personality. I know you're not shy with like doing stuff with color. I wanted to throw you things that I thought that you would be able to really hit home, like clear the bases, and you did with both of the pieces that you got.
Yeah, it was a fun challenge.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And it really suited you because you did really well with this piece, and I'm about to show the second piece. But, you know, different people for this project got different assignments, and I tried to kind of tailor them to the person's personality.
You did perfect with that.
I feel like, well, definitely, I mean, I feel like it went well.
It did, yeah.
But I'm really happy about these two because these are two very different artists. But you put your special touch on both of them, and I think they're both phenomenal. I really love this piece. So this is Provincetown Orchard. So this chapter I haven't done yet. So this isn't in the first Design Like book, but it certainly will be in the second. It took a lot to research Peter Hunt. And weirdly, it seems like his stuff is not locked down by copyright because of his two how-to art books. So using his art books, you are able to design in his style because he wrote those books to show you how to do all these shapes and stuff. So it's been a bit of a journey for me trying to figure out what we can do with Peter Hunt. And it's a bit of a to be continued. So this is an original design, but it's certainly a name that you could dig into, research, and maybe design something like Peter Hunt. Look for the things like Shannon did that are the same and ways that you can match colors. You know, because if you had gone off on a bender and you didn't have symmetry of color, it could fast become a confusing piece, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just the way that it's balanced with both have the red ladder, both have the purple bottom, the yellow top, it really makes sense. Because if it weren't for that, your eye would be like, you know, this is a pretty good composition in terms of composition, but there's a lot of stuff happening on the periphery.
There is,
yeah. You did a great job. I absolutely love this.
Thank you.
So this was done on linen and gorgeous. And let's look at the second one. You want to take that one? And this is one that at least the group in Maine saw, and the people who watched the video of that, the Seacoast Guild, where we looked at the first few Design Likes, and this was one of the ones that I picked because this is in the first book. And this is the artist that is the Austrian artist Hundertwasser. And that's a tough name. That's Hundertwasser. So that's a tricky one. And he's not a super well-known artist either. Had you heard of him?
No.
Did you look at him too?
I sure did.
Yeah. What was your impression when you looked at his work?
I fell in love with him.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I was like, how did she know I would like this guy? I mean, yeah, his artwork is
colorful
amazing.
And whimsical.
Yes.
It's funky. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's contemporary. It's, I mean, he's not contemporary. He's been dead for years. But it's beautiful, beautiful work. So this piece is called, I think this is called The Evening Commute, something like that. Home from City Commute.
Yes.
Well, that doesn't have a very good flow, does it? I might have to change the title of that. That's a kind of a confusing one. This is an amazing piece. And when I showed this one in Maine, when I gave that talk, people went crazy for this piece. I think it's your colors. I think it's the energy. It's very different, isn't it? It's not like
no, it's totally
anything.
I was way out of my element with this one.
Were you?
I was. I was so thankful when you sent some colors, and I was like, okay, at least I got something to work with. But
I didn't even think of that. Because, you know, the Peter Hunt, that was like super pastoral and it was very country. And then this is kind of the opposite. This is super contempo modern.
And I'm more of a primitive. Yeah, but this was, I had a lot of fun with this one.
Yeah, I love this one. I can tell that you had fun with it. This almost operates like a sampler because there's the different, these are actually trees, but Hundertwasser always draws them as like flowers. So there's always a lot of play to his trees. That's just a motif that he always carried with him. He occasionally did, he was an architect and an activist. He was very interested in the urban landscape, what was possible, what was unethical, right? He had a very, very strong sort of idea of self-ethics. and very outspoken, kind of eccentric character in his day. He had mixed feelings about the city because he didn't particularly like cities, and he really believed that everything that was horizontal was like the work of God, but everything that was vertical was the work of man, like things that you build up. So he hated cities, or so he said, but he spent all of his time in cities, right? Because that's where life is, and that's where life is happening, and other artists are there. So in some of his pictures, we do see a city in the background, but although he did a lot of urban architecture, and that's probably what he's best known for, more than his painting even, we occasionally see him including cities, and when he does, they're very nondescript. And you must have figured this out, but the way that he tackles a cityscape is by breaking it down by color, exactly the way that you did. So that was super correct. And I'm really happy, because I wasn't going to steer you with any of this stuff. But you did it.
I wanted help, but I went to other people.
I was unhelpful. I'm sorry. I'm such a jerk.
No, I'm just teasing.
You know, I was thinking it would be real pure if you did it the way that you liked it. And it couldn't possibly be wrong, because the city is very Hundertwasser. These two characters are very Hundertwasser. He always does stuff in kind of almost like a circusy feeling, very geometric silhouette. So he often shows bowler hats. He shows top hats. This is like an exaggerated top hat, right? And this is meant to mimic the city buildings too, in terms of the shape. He breaks down the face to be really, really graphic and silly and like over theatrical. But he does a lot with solids and geometrics. And this geometric that you did was fantastic. He even shows us round shapes, like a shoulder, in geometrics. For some reason, he always does his faces round, but he does bodies like geometric, always. So that's not like none of this is my invention. This is all looking at his work and going, okay, this seems like something he would do. This seems like something he would do. And then the top layer and the most obvious layer is the stuff that you did. So color-wise, breaking it down. You did great stuff with contrast. You did great stuff with, this is like an over-dyed tweed. I mean, that was a really good use of that. You grounded it. The contrast is perfect. The blue color in the background is perfect. And the busyness of the suburb, right, where all the houses are, where people are commuting from, with all of the colorful trees, it's just so happy. This was his ideal, and this was really the reality in his life of all, the big European cities. But it's a great mix of architecture and iconic characters of his, and then many examples of his little lollipop tree. And again, you did this in a number 8
Yep.
with yarn and wool.
Yeah.
You did an amazing job.
Thank you.
You love this one, right?
I did, yeah.
I
love hooking this one, yeah.
Aww.
Probably because it's just so different from what I normally do.
Yeah. Did you make any changes as you were going along?
No.
Like, did you do anything and go, nah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, did you?
You mean pull out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's,
like
it's so balanced. It's so balanced color-wise,
Yeah, I doubt myself a lot. Yeah.
Do you wait a little while before you pull stuff out?
Nope.
You just pull it out right away?
I just pull it out right away and start all over.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, hey, your formula works. And you did these incredibly fast. So it's not like you tripped yourself up for so long that you were just in this weird twilight of guessing. You made decisions pretty quickly after you...
Yeah. I think I just wanted to finish. Well, the joy of hooking it and finishing it. See
what
the end result look like.
The joy of finishing it is like the joy of leaving the gym.
Yeah.
Right? It's great.
Exactly. With no sweat.
Depends on if you overturn a table while you're hooking
or
it.
If you go through menopause.
That's right.
Yep.
Double whammy, yeah. That was a reference that we won't say what the reference was. That was the table. The table's a little smaller than it was yesterday, the table that we're sitting on. But this piece is phenomenal, and the Peter Hunt piece is phenomenal. I think you did an amazing job. Are you going to do more if the series continues?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think we all should.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
it's
get
fun.
out and just attempt to get out of our comfort zone and just see what comes of it.
Were you disappointed that you got 2 artists who were lesser known?
Oh, no.
Good.
I enjoyed that because I think the less I knew, the more, what's I'm looking for? Creative I could be, maybe?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Because when you hear, for me, the ones that I enjoyed drawing the most are the ones that were the lesser known artists. Yeah. I way less enjoyed doing the designs for example, Van Gogh, Monet, Matisse, even Chagall, because I just felt like like what you're saying, that there's always going to be this kind of preformed idea or expectation of what that work will come out to look like.
Exactly.
And when you're trying to design something that's slightly different, but also effective and successful as a design that stands independently of that artist's work, you know, it's really hard for people to have such strong associations to what the work is supposed to look like.
Exactly. Yeah,
so
exactly.
I feel like I had less wiggle room with designing, and you felt the same as far as like filling in a design. You felt like, oh, I have way more wiggle room because I don't know who this is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I enjoy doing all the like research and learning more about it and stuff.
Oh, that is fun, isn't it? That's what all those great rabbit holes with some of these great artists. Hundertwasser is just amazing, isn't he?
He is. I'm waiting for the design light class to come out.
Oh, you know, I haven't done it because I don't know if enough people are into him.
I don't know.
I could give it a shot.
Yeah.
Because it really is funky and crazy and different, and it's called. This is exactly what he is. It's colorful, crazy and colorful. And the Peter Hunt, which we rolled up and put away, that was also absolutely spot on. Perfect. Could not have been any more perfect than they are. You did such a good job with both. I love them both. Shannon Carter, everyone. Like, subscribe, thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. Spread the word, right?
Yeah. Come to Connecticut and see how beautiful it is.
It is. It's a really great day, but we're having fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, until next time, until more fun and shenanigans, I will see you next time at Ribbon Candy Hooking.